Hi, and thanks for joining me in the Adobe Illustrator in Under 10 tutorial series where we discuss techniques in Adobe Illustrator in under 10 minutes. In this particular tutorial, we are going to discuss the pencil tool. It's a free-form drawing tool in Adobe Illustrator and an option that most people have learned to adapt to now that it has been upgraded in the newer versions. So let's get started. Hit the N button on your keyboard or look in your toolbar menu and you're going to scroll down and you're going to find it between the paintbrush and the blob brush tool, and then you could select that tool, and I'm going to leave it with a black stroke, and I'm going to drag out and draw on my board. Now you'll notice that it gives me a very accurate curve according to how I was drawing with the actual tool. But if I wanted to increase the accuracy, I can double click and change this to slide it from just smooth all the way down to accurate. And if I click OK, I can then manipulate this tool and it's going to come out exactly how I've drawn that line. The difference is now it's going to give me a ton of anchor points to make sure that line is as accurate as possible. So it makes editing more difficult because there are so many anchor points that you would have to adjust if you're trying to get something to change a specific way. Now we can double click and reopen this, and we can, as I always do, leave it at the first notch. There are 5 notches from 0 to 100 or vice versa, going to accurate or accurate to smooth, that are on this actual slider. And then I would click OK, and it draws fairly accurately, but with way less anchor points than the previous one that I drew below. See? So it's very simple how to adjust this. You just got to figure out which one works best for you. Now, somebody might ask, well, why choose the smooth portion? And the reason you would do that is because let's say you're drawing a curve, but you want it to be more of a curve that's natural, or one that at least looks a little bit more natural. You would slide this all the way to smooth, click OK, and when you draw the next curve, you'll notice that it's way more perfected. It looks completely different than the previous one that you drew. It's because it then takes into consideration how you're arcing, the size of the actual line that you're drawing, and it adjusts accordingly to smoothen that out. Now, under that option, you also have other options like fill new pencil strokes, so you can have a fill on, keep selected or not. If you want, after you pick up your tool that you're using to draw, it will actually deselect if it's not on keep selected, or it will keep it selected in case you want to manipulate it. It will allow you to change the Alt keys function. Right now, if you were to use the Alt key, you could draw this line, hit the Alt key, and now you can use it to make straight lines or angled lines. Now, in previous versions of Illustrator, in order to get the accuracy up, I would do that a lot. I would hit the Alt key all the time to make sure that it gave me as accurate a line as possible. But in newer versions, you don't really have to do that. So let's double click this and we're going to open this back up. If we were to click this, now we would have the smooth tool, which is a tool under the pencil option. And that allows you to smoothen out the actual curves on a line in case they aren't as smooth as you originally would like, and it would remove some of the anchor points that would be listed on the actual line segment. And then we have edit selected paths, and this allows us to edit these paths within a specific range after we've already created our line work. So it makes sure that once we've done it, if we draw close enough within that range, it will then edit the actual line work or whatever it is that we have on the board using our pencil tool. And I'm just going to click OK. And that's pretty much how the pencil tool works in a nutshell. If we were to click and go underneath, we'll find the smooth tool, which, just like any other tool, if you double click it, you'll have some options, and it has a fidelity slider that allows it to be more accurate or more smooth if you're smoothing it out. We're going to cancel that. And then you also have the tool that's the path eraser tool, which basically allows you to erase paths. And we're not going to go into those in depth. They're just add-ons to the pencil tool and are in general to any line segment creating tool. But these are the options that are under the actual pencil tool in your toolbar. So it's very easy to get used to. It's very accurate. In previous versions of Adobe Illustrator, instead of having one slider, they had 2. That's really the only difference between the newer ones and the older ones. So take your time, get familiar with it, figure it out. It's very easy to use, and you'll probably adapt to that quicker than any other drawing tool in Adobe Illustrator. So I'm glad you guys could join me. If you have any questions, you can find me online, www.theonewillfocus.com, or you can find me on all social media at TheOneWillFocus. That's TheOneWillFocus. and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Take care.